Okay, guys, I can see plenty of you joining, and welcome to my live web training. We'll call it live web training. My name is Matt Goldberg. I'm from Leeds, actually, but I live in Harrogate in North Yorkshire. I'm a Yorkshire man. I'm a Yorkshire lad. Anyone from Yorkshire here? So what we're going to do is, what I did was a few weeks back, after joining a lot of these buy and sell groups on Facebook, was that I noticed there was quite a lot of people struggling with certain things in this buying and selling business. And so this was about a year ago, and I've been following a lot of groups for about a year. And so what I decided to do was, because I've been in the business for 28 years, a long time, I decided to start a group, and I started making videos, and I've put quite a lot of content on LinkedIn and quite a bit on here as well. And I want to teach people how to get involved in buying and selling, like properly, in a proper way. So a lot of you guys, from what I can see, some of you are doing it full time, some of you are doing it part time, and then of course some of you are very new, very new to this as well. So you're curious, you're very curious about this business. So let me just tell you a bit about me, so you know exactly who I am. So I started in the surplus liquidation job lot business in about 1990, and what happened was, it was purely by accident. I worked for someone. I got a temporary job with someone, and it was actually on a market stall. And we used to do outdoor markets, and we used to do Ripon, Wakefield, and Selby. And this guy that I work for, he was selling chocolate and confectionery. Just one sec. Just turning my heating off because it's been on all day and I'm boiling. Even though it's freezing cold here in England, my office is absolutely boiling hot. So, yes, so I started work. This was like around 1990. I was around 20. And this guy had a market stall, and he was selling food. He was selling chocolate and confectionery. And what I noticed was, he had a lot of people coming to his stall all day long. A crowd of people. Crowds were gathering at his stall, and all the other stalls were like really quiet. And I was like trying to work out how were people coming to his stall. And basically, he used to be a pitcher. Now, a pitcher was someone who would shout out, and they'd get a crowd of people around, because they'd be offering deals all day long. He'd be offering deals on boxed chocolates and all sorts of chocolate and confectionery, and he'd get a big crowd of people round his market stall, and he'd be shouting out prices. Like, for example, he'd be doing boxed chocolates. He'd stack them up in a pile, and they'd be like £50 retail, and he'd be saying, I don't want £50, I don't want £40, and I don't even want £30. Ladies and gentlemen, get your hand in your pockets. I don't even want £20. And in the end, he was doing them for like £10, and everyone was putting their hands in the air and waving £10. He was selling £10 lots of these chocolates. I was trying to figure out how he could sell them so cheap. And basically, he used to buy surplus job lots, clearance stocks from these wholesalers and various companies, and he used to buy cheap lots of chocolates and confectionery and then sell them on a market stall. And he'd make fortunes of money, this guy, fortunes. And this was back in like late 80s, early 90s. And that's when I discovered what clearance stock was. Clearance stock is, there's only one reason what clearance stock is, and that is it's a company's mistake. So any company who sells a product, a physical product, they always have stock inventory in a warehouse somewhere, whether it's their own warehouse or a third-party warehouse. And so some of that stock inventory, if they haven't sold it after a while, it becomes slow moving. It becomes excess stock. It becomes surplus to requirements. And it's a big problem for companies that have this type of stock because they've got money. They've got their money tied up in this clearance stock. And this clearance stock is only going one way in value. It's going down in value, okay? Never up, always down in value. So they've got their money tied up in dead stock in a warehouse, and they need to get rid of that stock cheap to turn that stock back into cash as quickly as possible, because they need that cash to buy more stock with. And, you know, if they've got cash tied up in bad stock that's sat there, that is no good for their business. They need that stock, they need that cash out of that stock, and they need to put it to good use. So there's no point having it tied up in dead stock. So I started getting involved in the clearance business in about 1990. And I first started just looking for stock inventory, job lots, clearance, liquidation stock. And this was before the internet. And what I used to do was I used to sit on a phone all day, ringing companies up. All day long, I'd be ringing companies. Every day, I'd just ring one company after the next, and I'd work from a directory, a phone directory, like the Yellow Pages, and various other types of directories. And I was ringing companies up and saying, "Hi, I'm just seeing if you've got any clearance that you'd like to get rid of, any clearance stock that you'd like to sell off." And you know, I started getting offered various types of stock. And because I'd helped this guy in chocolate and confectionery, I was ringing like confectionery and chocolate companies and food companies. So I started in this business doing food and drink. That's where I started. I was looking for food and drink, and a lot of their stock that became clearance type stock was stock that had expiry date problems. So the expiry date on the stock was getting lower and lower, and they had to clear that stock. So I started buying and selling. I started looking for that type of stock. At that time, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just looking for stock, and then I was thinking, right, okay, what should I do with it now I've been offered it? I was learning as I went along. It was, you know, before the internet, and if you wanted to find a customer for that stock, you had to literally get in your car and drive to different places and offer them that stock. You know, like drive to a cash and carry or a wholesaler or a retail shop. And, you know, it was frustrating because it was difficult finding buyers for that type of stock. That's another story. That's another thing that I'm going to get into in a big way. Anyway, so what I want to talk about today is, like, I did this poll on Facebook on a lot of the groups. What are your biggest struggles? What are your biggest struggles in this line of business? And I mentioned various things, and one of the biggest things that people struggled with was struggling to find good suppliers, struggling to find stock, the right stock, struggling to find the right products. And so just going back, when I was at it years ago, when the internet started, it was a big, big game changer for me in this business, because I started building these systems of finding suppliers across different product categories. So what I did was I started focusing on specific product categories and subcategories. So I was searching online for companies within specific product categories. So any type of company who sold physical products. So they could have been a manufacturer, an importer, a wholesaler, a cash and carry, a retailer, and of course online sellers, online shops. So back then there weren't as many, but obviously through the years up to now, there's just like the mass of online shops, online sellers is just massive. It's just massive. So I started building these systems of finding suppliers across specific product categories. And I started building lists of suppliers across every product category you can think of. So you think of any product, or you walk into the supermarket or any, shopping center or town center, any type of product category like baby products, sports products, cosmetics, clothing, toys, giftware, etc. I started building contacts across these specific product categories, okay? And what I did was I flipped it on its head and I started looking for buyers that were looking for those specific products as well. So buyers who were in that specific niche. So for example, an online sports shop, an online cosmetic store. So I was targeting these type of buyers who were in a specific product category or a subcategory. So if it was cosmetics, it might have been someone selling makeup products, or maybe they were just selling perfumes or aftershaves, for example. Okay. So I started building these systems and big lists of contacts, not just in the UK, but across the world, across the UK, across Europe, and across the like America and places like that, and Canada. And so what I want to talk about today is, before I get involved deeply into this, you guys that are on at the minute, I just want to know just comment. Comment if you're full-time doing this, or part-time doing this, or new to this. So comment part-time, full-time, new. I just want to see like who's doing what at the minute, how much you're involved in this at the moment. So Steve, you're at it full time, cool. And are you general, or are you niche? Are you doing pretty much anything and everything, or are you handling just specific product categories? Are you in a specific niche? What niche are you in, or are you just general? You'll just wheel and deal any product if it's the right price. Christopher, you put a thing saying, find me any surplus fabric and textile. No problem, my friend. You've met the right person. I have a lot of connections for fabric and textiles, both here and abroad, in various quantities. So yeah, message me afterwards and I'll speak to you about it. So guys, look, I'm gonna keep moving on, but just while I'm talking, please comment in the box. Are you doing this line of business part-time at the minute or full-time at the minute? Or are you brand new to this? I just want to see what you guys are doing, okay? Anyone? Anyone? So, listen, I'm going to keep moving forward on this. That's the best way. And I will keep asking questions. If you're around to reply, that would be great. If not, you can reply afterwards when the training is over. You can reply as I speak, and I will check back. Okay. So I want to get straight into this now on why are people struggling to find good suppliers? Why are people struggling to find the right stock inventory? So what I've noticed on a lot of these Facebook buy and sell groups is, and I can tell a lot mainly by the price that people are offering the stock at, that a lot of people are not buying at source. They're not buying directly. So what I mean by that is they're offering stock in these buy and sell groups, but they've bought that off someone, and that someone has bought that off someone else, and that someone else has bought that off someone else. So that stock has come down the line. It's been sold. It's been bought and sold 4 or 5 times. And then that's why they are offering it at that kind of price. I have to say, you know, looking at a lot of these buy and sell groups on Facebook, people selling job lots, clearance, liquidation stock, a lot of the prices that I see they're not cheap. They're not the right price. Now, I don't know whether the person has bought that cheap, but they're just wanting a lot more for it and trying to make really good money on it, or they've bought it at the wrong price. So they are selling it at a high price because they've bought it at a high price. Okay. I think that's probably the reason, because a lot of people on there are buying stuff, from what I can see, from possibly eBay wholesale, and maybe other buyers and sellers on Facebook. So yeah, there's a lot of people selling job lots on these buy and sell groups, and the prices are just not cheap. They're not real clearance prices. They're not real clearance prices. I mean, I've been interested in stuff on there, and I've asked the price, and they've said they're looking at 50% of the retail price. 50% of the retail price. Well, that's just not a real clearance price. It's not a real clearance price. One of the secrets to actually buying stock inventory at the right price, believe it or not, is if who you're not buying it from is, if they're not losing money, then you've bought it at the wrong price. Okay? And when I say if they're not losing money, it means that you need to be paying under factory prices. What it costs to make that product, you need to be buying it at under that price. Okay? 99% out of 100 times. That is the reason. Okay? Unless it's a major designer brand or something, then it might be a slightly different evaluation. If it's a big brand, you know. But most of the time, you need to be buying it at under factory prices, under what it costs to make. Does that make sense? So when I say that, when I say under factory prices, you need to be paying under 10% of the retail price. Under. So let's look at it another way. You need to be paying over 90% off the retail price. Okay, under 90% off the retail price. So, like, to make things simple, if it was a £1 retail line, if it was a £1 retail product, you would need to be paying under 10 pence for that product. Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's to make it a real clearance price. And the reason you do that is because when you're buying stock inventory, you need, if you're actually physically buying that stock inventory anyway, this is what I'm talking about, because a lot of people are actually physically buying that stock. They're paying for it and they're bringing it into a storage or a warehouse. If you're buying that physical stock, you need a get out of jail price. What I mean by that is, if you buy it right, you can actually sell it. You can actually still sell it very cheap, but a get out of jail price is you could sell it at your cost, just to get your money back. Okay, if worse came to worst, you could sell your stock at cost, rather than losing money on that stock. It's a general rule of thumb to buy stock at around 10% of the retail price. However, a lot of people buy stock to retail on themselves. So that's different. So a lot of people in this business, whether you're part-time, full-time, you might be in it to buy it and then flip it straight on to someone else. Or you might be in it to buy the stock and then retail it on. You know, so you might just list it on eBay or Amazon and retail it on yourself and sit on that stock and sell it, you know, a bit at a time, but you make a bigger margin, a bigger profit margin, okay? Because you're retailing it straight on. You're not actually selling it on to a retailer or even a wholesaler. So I buy and sell various types of stock inventory, and most of the time I actually sell the stock to a wholesale company, to wholesalers, and they will sell that on again to retailers. Okay, now the reason I do that is because I am a quick turnover, small margin business. So I like buying stock and moving it straight away. Okay, so I'm buying it and I'm moving it. I'm not buying it and then bringing it in to a warehouse and then sitting on it. I'm actually buying it and then I'm flipping it straight on to someone. So basically, and these are part of my secret methods that I use in my business every day. I don't have any stock inventory, ever. I never ever hold any stock inventory. Never ever hold any stock inventory. Okay, I'm buying and selling all the time, but I never hold any stock inventory. Okay, I never buy it and then bring it into a warehouse and look at it like, oh, look at that lovely stock. How beautiful that stock looks. That's beautiful. And sit there and admire it. No, I don't want money tied up in stock, sat in a warehouse. I want to just do a deal on that stock and flip it on. And that is the buzz of being in this business, where you get offered something and you think, oh yeah, I know a buyer for that. I know a buyer for that. And then you'll do a deal with the supplier, and then you'll do a deal with the buyer, and you'll just buy it and flip it on and make a make some profit. Okay, so I'm buying and selling, but I'm never ever holding any stock inventory. And you know the crazy thing as well, I never see any stock inventory. Never ever physically see that stock inventory that I buy and sell. I never ever see it. Okay, obviously I see a sample and I see photos of the stock inventory on email, but I never go and see the stock inventory. And I never go and I never see it from when I've been offered it to when I've sold it. I never see that stock inventory. Never physically see it with my own eyes. Only on photos on email. Okay, that's another secret method I use. And another secret method that I use is that this is one that maybe you kind of it's probably hard to believe, and there are many people doing this. I know one or two that do it sometimes, but I do this all the time on every deal. Okay, every deal I do, I use this third secret method. I don't use any of my own money. I don't use any of my own money when I'm buying and selling stock inventory. I don't need any of my own money to buy and sell stock inventory. Okay. I'll say that again. I don't use any of my money when I'm buying and selling stock inventory. None of my money I use. Okay. But I'm buying and selling every day. So I never hold any stock inventory. I don't store any stock inventory. I don't see any stock inventory. And when I'm buying and selling stock inventory, I never use any of my own money. Okay? They're the three methods that I use in my business every week. And I bet a lot of you are going, what? What are you talking about? You don't hold any stock inventory. You never have any stock inventory. And you don't ever see any stock inventory. And what do you mean you don't use any of your own money to buy and sell stock inventory? Well, I promise you on my children's life that I run my business this way every day of the week. I never ever hold any stock inventory. I never see any stock inventory. And I never use a penny of my money to buy and sell stock inventory. Okay. Now I'm going to go into that in the future. I'm not going to tell you how I do it because I'm currently putting a web training together for you guys that you can actually sign up for and watch, and where I go through each of these three methods and I teach you, I show you these three methods, these exact methods. You can copy those methods yourself. You can copy those three methods to run whether you're doing it part-time or full-time, you can learn from me how to buy and sell stock inventory without ever holding any stock inventory, without ever seeing any stock inventory, and without using any of my own money. Okay? Now, before I move on to get into the detail of finding good suppliers and the right suppliers in 2019, the modern day methods of finding stock and finding the right stock, I want to tell you one more thing that I do as a business. And I did this in the early days as well. And there's a lot of people as well doing this in the business, and a lot of them do it for me as well. And basically they find stock inventory. Okay, they go and look for stock inventory, and they get paid what we call a finder's fee or a commission fee. But they don't buy and sell that. They don't get involved in buying and selling that stock. So they earn money, but without buying or selling anything at all. Okay, does that make sense? Probably not. So yeah, that's another method in this business that you can get involved in. If you don't want to get involved in actually looking for stock and then looking for buyers for that stock and like trying to do a deal and then organize the deal and get into the buying and selling of that stock, you can actually make money just from finding stock inventory. You don't need to do anything other than just go and find surplus stock inventory, job lots, clearance, in bulk. You can actually earn money just from finding stock. You can earn finder's fees. So you don't have to buy or sell that stock. You just earn a commission from finding that stock inventory. And I have a lot of stock finders that bring me deals. Okay, they'll bring a deal. They'll bring an offer of some stock inventory to me. They'll say, Matt, I've found this, and I'll say, okay, let me look at that, and let's see if we can turn that into a deal. And if we turn that into a deal, I pay them a finder's fee, a commission fee. And I also act as a stock finder sometimes. Even now, 28 years later in this business, I still sometimes earn just a finder's fee because I get offered a lot of stock inventory every day. And sometimes maybe I don't have time to buy or sell it. I don't have time to put in the work to find buyers and get involved in the deal. I will pass that on to someone who is knowledgeable about that type of stock. And I'll say, look, if you can do a deal on that, just cut me into the deal. Give me a fee, give me a commission. And so that's what you do. So you can actually find stock inventory and make money just from finding the stock, not buying or selling that stock, just from finding that stock. And if that's something that's quite interesting to you, I've got an ebook that I wrote. I wrote an ebook on how to make money as a stock finder. So if you're interested, type yes, comment yes if you want a free ebook on how to make money as a stock finder in the surplus stock business. So it shows you how you become a stock finder and what your part is in that process. So how you earn your money. How do you earn your money as a stock finder? So comment yes, and I will leave a link at the end, and you can get your free ebook on. This is something you can do on the side of buying and selling job lots. You can just find stock inventory, find bulk stock. It might be a load of stock inventory. It might be too big for you. It might be too much. So instead of you just walking away from it, you could actually still earn money from that stock inventory. So it might not be for you to do something with, but you can actually pass it on to people who will pay you a finder's fee, like someone like me. So, for example, you found some stock inventory. The quantity is far too big for you, okay? And that happens. I know a lot of people in these buy and sell groups on Facebook. They can't handle big quantities of stock. They're just looking at trading small quantities. I'm a big volume buyer and seller, so I buy. I'm dealing in big quantities of pallets and several truckloads at a time. Truckloads of stock I'm buying and selling. So if you're offered big quantities of stock, then you would bring that to me, and then I would look at putting a deal together and trying to do a deal on that stock, and then I would pay you a commission fee, a finder's fee. Okay, now one of my students, Jacob, in Poland, this was great. Over Christmas, just before Christmas, I was actually on holiday in Tenerife, and he messaged me, and you know, he just finds stock, and he found a big stock of auto parts. Yeah, auto parts. I mean, you can literally look for anything, and I'm going to go into this in a minute. So you can look for any type of stock, and Jacob found a big stock inventory of, I think there was about 30,000 water pumps for cars. So this is a part for a car, for different types of car models. And he said, Matt, I've found this stock inventory. Can you do anything with this? So I sent it out to my contacts who I know are in the business of dealing in auto parts. And, you know, I made a few phone calls while I was sat beside the swimming pool on holiday. And I did a deal with a company in France. And Jacob, my student, just from those phone calls I made, and we put a deal together with the company that offered him the stock inventory, and with my customer in France. And Jacob made just over 2,000 euros commission fee, and I transferred him that money. Okay. And if you look on the group timeline, there's a video of him on there saying about this. And so that's what I'm talking about, guys. There's a lot of different angles to this game. So you can do it part-time or full-time, or you might be new to this. When you get offered that stock, you have to decide whether you want to just flip it on, sell that stock straight on to someone, or you might be in the business of looking for stock inventory and actually wanting to retail that yourself. So bring that stock into a warehouse and retail it yourself on eBay or Amazon or your own online shop. Most people in this business are buying job lots and clearance deals just to buy and move on. Okay. I find the best way is to buy it all and then move it all straight on to someone else. I notice a lot of people buy stock, and then they'll sell it off in little lots. So they'll sell a few cases here and a few cases there. I'm not into that. That takes time. Plus, you have to buy that stock and bring it in and sit on that stock. And then you move in a few cases here and a few cases there. That's really, for me, that's not the way to do this business. The way to do this business is go find some stock inventory and get offered that stock inventory. Go find a buyer for that stock inventory and then just flip it on. Move it straight on and then wash your hands. Done. Deal done. Move on to the next deal. Okay? Not buy it and bring it in and then sell a few cases here and a few cases there. And I see a lot of that on the Facebook groups. People offering, there's lots and lots of this. You know, someone's got 10 cases, or someone's got 20 bags, or someone's got 35 pairs of shoes, or, you know, it's really small quantities that they're trying to buy, they're trying to sell. And, you know, you can't really make real money in this business doing it that way. You know, you can get involved in bigger lots if you want, and you don't need to worry about not having the money to buy the stock. Okay. So if you get offered stock inventory and you're panicking thinking, oh, that it looks good, but there's too much of it for me. There's too much stock. So you just walk away. Don't walk away from it. There are ways of doing a deal on that stock and making money on that stock, even if you don't have the money to buy that stock, even if you haven't got the customers for that kind of stock. Okay. So there's a lot of ways around this. So I'm going to start talking now about the big struggle that people have. One of the main struggles in this poll that I did on the Facebook groups people struggle with finding good suppliers, finding the right products, finding the right stock. So a lot of people are obviously struggling to find the right stock. So when I say that, my guess is that they're either finding stock, but a lot of the time it's the wrong price. It's too expensive. Or they just can't find stock. They just can't find. They don't know where to look for the right stock inventory. Where in 2019 do you find consistently a lot of surplus and liquidation stock inventory, a lot of job lots? Where do you find that type of stock? Okay, where do you find that type of stock? So, guys, I'm going to go through a lot of these comments at the end. So if you've got questions while I'm talking, type them in and I'm going to answer them all at the end. Okay, if you've got any questions for me, anything at all, please, anything at all, any pains or frustrations that you're struggling with, that you need answers on or advice, please ask. Please ask. Okay, so I'm seeing already there's some good questions. Yeah, a lot of people are saying the price. So the reason why, so when you see that the prices are too much, more than likely it's for two reasons. And you know, I'll answer this quickly before we get involved in where to find the right stock inventory, where to find stock. Normally, if the price is too much, okay, which is normal because, you know, everyone starts at a price to sell stock, okay? So the price is too much. So you can either walk away because the price is too much, or try and get them down on price, okay? Which is another thing that I'll get involved in another Facebook Live. So basically, you know, a lot of the prices are too high. Yeah, I noticed that on the buy and sell groups on Facebook, okay? And I've already explained, I think the reason why the prices are too high is because you're not finding the stock at source. You're not finding it direct. These people that are offering you stock and the price is too much is because they've bought that stock. The stock has come down the line too many times. So it started with the manufacturer. Someone's imported that from the manufacturer. Then the importers sold it on to a wholesaler. And then the wholesalers sold it on to maybe an eBayer. And then an eBayer sold it on to someone. And then that someone is selling it in a buy and sell group on Facebook. It's gone down the line too many times. You need to be looking for stock more at source. Okay, not from people where it's come down the line too many times. Okay, so this is where I'm going to help you guys and put some good ideas into your head and give you some aha moments. Okay, so where do you find stock inventory in 2019? Well, the internet is obviously the good starting place because you've got access to anything and anyone on the internet. So I'm going to start with one place, okay? Right, eBay, right? And I'm not talking about eBay wholesale category. And I'm not talking about what's listed on eBay. Okay, I'll say that again. You can find stock, you can find job lots and clearance deals through eBay. But I'm not talking about the wholesale category or the job lot category or from any listings on eBay. And you're probably thinking, well, what the hell is he talking about? So what I'm talking about is on the surface of eBay, okay, what you can see on eBay is people listing products, okay, thousands, hundreds of thousands of products listed on eBay, and hundreds of thousands of sellers, a lot of big sellers, a lot of people selling stuff on eBay, and a lot of companies selling on eBay with thousands and thousands of feedbacks. They've got big shops. They're selling a lot of products. You know, they're selling a lot of products. There's some big, big sellers on eBay, okay? And they've got lots of products listed on eBay, okay? Now, what you need to be doing is you need to be thinking, well, if they're selling all those products on eBay, okay, that means they've got a warehouse somewhere full of stock. So if they're listing stock on eBay, if they're listing products on eBay, they've got a warehouse somewhere full of stock inventory, okay? But you don't see that bit. You don't see the underbelly of eBay, okay? People just see the surface of eBay, what people are listing, okay? But underneath all that is all these hundreds and thousands of people and companies that are selling, that have products listed on eBay. Well, they are all carrying stock inventory. So they've got stock inventory somewhere in a warehouse that they're posting their sold products from. Okay, now a lot of these sellers on eBay who sell a big range of products or whatever, it doesn't matter if it's a big range, they have stock inventory in a warehouse. And I'm telling you now, there's never been a better time to get in contact with these eBay sellers and see if they've got any stock inventory in their warehouse or wherever they're storing their stock. If they've got any stock that they want to clear in bulk, have they got any slow-moving stock inventory that they want to get rid of in bulk? A lot of them are selling, a lot of them are clearing that product, but on eBay, they're just listing it and probably at a discounted price. But they're just selling a few a day. They're just piddling a few here and a few there. They're not moving big volumes. But if you contacted them and said, look, if you got a bulk lot of stock inventory that you just want to turn back into money, do you want to turn some stock back into cash? And a lot of these eBay sellers will be happy to hear from you because, you know, they want to buy new stock. They want to buy new products. If they've imported some stock if they've imported some products, which might have been a trending product at the time, it might have been a really good selling product, but it's not really a big seller anymore. It might be something they bought too many of. So they've imported several thousand. And, you know, they've sold a few hundred over a year or 6 months. But they need to be selling it quick. They thought they'd be selling it quicker. So, you know, they've got a problem. They're paying storage on that stock inventory, okay? They're paying storage on that stock. A monthly bill they've got on that stock. But it's not selling quick enough on eBay for them, okay? Even though they've discounted it, it's still not selling quick enough. They're not moving the volume, okay? You need to be contacting eBay sellers, right? Contacting them, and I'll tell you how to contact them as well, away from eBay. You need to be contacting them and phoning them or emailing them and say, look, I notice you've got a shop on eBay. Have you got any bulk stock inventory? Have you got any slow-moving stock? Have you got anything that you want to clear? I'm a buyer of that type of stock. I buy job lots and surplus stock. So they're the type of people. They're the people that you want to be contacting, and the ones to look for are the big sellers, the ones with a lot of feedback, and the big and established. So you're guaranteed that they're going to have a lot of stock inventory sat in a warehouse somewhere. Okay. The way you get in touch with them is click on one of their products, scroll down to the bottom, and near the bottom, and it says contact details. And you can actually click on there and you can get their email address, their phone number, their business name, their address, and the person's name as well sometimes. But what you can get is always the email address and the phone number. So what you do is, if you're looking for specific products, a specific product category. So for example, if you're looking for some job lots of some, let's say, sports products. If you're looking for some sports related products, so that's a big, very broad category. So you could be looking for something, a subcategory of a sports product. Maybe you're looking for job lots of fitness products, or maybe sports clothing. Various categories within the sports category. The sports niche. So what you want to do is you want to click on categories on eBay and go into sports. Click on sports category and then look at all the subcategories of sports categories. Like I say, sports clothing, sports footwear, fitness products, gym products. There's so many different types, sports watches, there's just so many different things anyway. Maybe sports headphones or whatever, sports sunglasses. It's just vast. So what you want to do is you want to focus in. You need to decide in your mind. It's difficult. I always advise to choose 2 or 3 product categories to look for. When you're searching for job lots and clearance stock, your head can get fuzzy thinking about what to look for. So just make a decision. Focus in on 2 or 3 different product categories. So maybe sports products, baby products, toy products, so focus in on 2 or 3 different product categories and then click on those categories on eBay and look at the search results. So you could zone in on subcategories within the main category. Like I say, on the sports one, you could zone in on subcategories. And then what you want to do is look at the search results and then go through each result and look at the shop and see if they've got big feedbacks, and click through to the shop, see what they're selling, see what range they've got, and basically click on one of their products and scroll down, get their contact details at the bottom of one of the products pages, get their email address or phone number, and you want to email them and introduce yourself, or phone them and say, I'm in the surplus stock inventory business. I buy and sell job lots, clearance. Do you have anything at the moment you'd be looking to sell? I'm a buyer of that type of stock and I'd be very interested. And, please, let me know if you've got anything. I'd love to do some business with you. And, if you've got any problem stock, anything slow moving, that you want to turn back into money quickly, then, I'm someone who would be very interested in that type of stock. And so, just make contact with them and get into a communication with them. What I do is I build a list of these sellers. I build lists of these sellers under a specific product category. So I might choose, I don't know, say sunglasses. So I'll look for a load of sellers, big sellers of sunglasses, okay? Whether they're branded or cheapy ones, don't matter. And I will build a list on an Excel file of all their email addresses. And I'll do an email to them, to all of them at once, you know, and I'll just introduce myself and my company, and I'll say, I'm looking for any slow-moving stock inventory you've got in your warehouse at the moment that you want to sell, that you want to turn back into money. You know, you've got dead stock. I can help. What have you got? And so email them. And then what you'll find is you'll get replies back. You'll get offered some stock inventory. You'll get offered some stock. And some might not reply. Some might not reply straight away. You might hear back in a few weeks. You might get a reply back the next day. You might get replies in a few months' time. But once they've got your details, you just need to keep in touch with them and email them or phone them every few months. Okay, does that make sense? So don't just send them an email and that's it. You want to keep in touch with them. You have to understand it's a numbers game in this business. A lot of people, you know, you can contact 100 companies, and out of those 100 companies, you might get offered stock from 10%. You know, you might get 10 offers. You might get 20 offers. But out of those 100 companies, over a long period, you'll get offered stock. So, you know, out of 100 companies you contacted right now, you might get 10 stock offers, okay? But the other 90 might not have stock at the moment. You know, some of them might have stock in a few months' time. Some of them might only have stock once or twice a year. So, you know, everyone's different. They're all different, these companies. Some companies clear stock every month. They've got stock inventory. Some clear stock, not many, but some might clear every week if they're a big company. So that's what I'm saying. This business is very, very much a numbers game when you're looking for stock inventory. So the reason I've been consistent buying and selling every week for the last 28 years is because the one thing that I've always done every week is make new contacts every week. So every week I am making more and more new contacts under specific product categories. Okay, does that make sense? So, you know, if I want to look for something like, cosmetics, maybe zone in. Maybe I'm looking for nail varnishes. Maybe I'm looking for a job lot of nail varnish. Okay, not for me, but to sell on. Okay, so I'm looking for a job lot of nail varnish. I could go into eBay and look for eBay sellers who sell nail varnishes. Okay, who sell nail varnish, and I'll look for the bigger sellers. Okay, and I will get their contact details, and I will see if they've got any job lots of any nail varnish. So what I'm doing in effect is over the years, what I've been doing is I've been building lists of companies, and these lists are all specific to a specific product. Okay, so if I'm looking for toys, I've got a big list of companies that only deal in toys, and those lists vary from, you know, toy manufacturers, toy importers, toy wholesalers, toy retailers, people on eBay that sell toys, people on Amazon that sell toys, people that have online shops that sell toys. So a big mix of people, but all connected to selling toys. So if I'm looking for a job lot of toys, I will be emailing these lists of companies who are all related to the toy business. Okay? Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to say is, if you're struggling to find the right suppliers and the right products, you need to be focusing in on specific product categories. So if if you're struggling to find the right suppliers and the right products, what you need to decide first is, what type of products are you looking for? And then you can go and find the right suppliers. Okay, so you're not just guessing. You're not just guessing where to look. You're actually looking for, like I say, you could start on eBay. This is just one little place, okay? But you can find people who are selling that specific product that you're looking for. So that's what I'm trying to say is, you need to decide what type of product you're looking for, and then go and find suppliers that deal in that specific type of product. Okay, so it's there right in front of your nose. You know, eBay, they've got lists of product categories. So they're showing you people and companies who are selling these specific products. So they're giving you it on a plate. They're showing you companies who are dealing in that specific product category. So if you're looking for a specific product, start on eBay. And, don't buy off eBay what they're listing. You need to be contacting these people offline. You need to be contacting them away from eBay. They've got stock in a warehouse, these eBay sellers, okay? And I'm telling you, there's a lot of stock inventory just on eBay alone that these sellers have got in a warehouse that is slow moving. It's surplus. They can't sell it, and basically with the internet, what's happening is over the years, there's more and more people selling on eBay and Amazon and online on their own shop. So there's more and more people importing products. There's more and more people importing stock from China, from the Far East. So over the years, there's more and more stock being imported, and there's more and more stock being stored in warehouses. There's more and more warehouses being built because they're running out of storage space because of all these online sellers that are bringing in more and more stock inventory. And for us, that's a great opportunity because, the more stock that's been imported, the more chances there's going to be surplus and job lot and clearance situations created from these sellers that are importing these stocks. Does that make sense? So the online now, it's such a big game changer. That's where you can find a lot of stock inventory. So eBay. So if you're struggling to find specific products, go on eBay, and it's there. It gives you a list of all the product categories. Go on the category of products that you're looking for, and then contact eBay sellers that are dealing in that specific product category, and contact them offline. Get the details, like I've mentioned, and email them or telephone them. And I guarantee you contact so many of them, and you will get offered some stock inventory that they've got in their warehouse that they want to clear. I'm going to show you, right? I'm going to show you what I found just last week. This is what I found last week. I was actually offered a lot more, but these are ones that I've got samples of that I was sent. So, so these here, these are torches, little pocket torches. Okay, little torches like that fit in a lady's handbag. And, you know, a company was selling these, and I contacted them because I was looking for stuff for the winter, like things for dark evenings. I was looking for torches, basically, and any job lots of torches. I was offered these, so it's not. It's these are selling on eBay and Amazon at between $3.99 and $4.99. Yeah, and so this company I contacted, and they offered me. They had 30,000 units. 30,000 units of these. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not surprised because, you know, they're selling at $3.99 to $4.99 online. I mean, sounds expensive for a torch like that, credit card sized torch. So basically, that was a stock that I was offered, 30,000 of these. And I actually did a deal on that stock, and I moved the stock straight onto someone. Okay. I was offered these from a company. I was looking for some mobile phone cases, which is always a good seller if it's a current, you know, if it's quite current. So I was offered these, a job lot of these. There was I think about 1,500 or 1,700, but these are really cool. They're selfie cases, so they light up. So you look like that. So they're a selfie case. A light up case. They're really cool, really cool. So yeah, so I was offered a load of those from an eBay seller. So again, you know, it's the underbelly of eBay. This is stock that they're listing this product, but they've got an overstock of them in their warehouse. They've got too many. And, you know, they don't know what to do with that stock apart from, you know, maybe discount them on eBay. But, you know, you're there to try and buy that stock in bulk from them. Okay? I was offered some of these hair straightener brushes. So there was a guy with a load of these that he wanted to sell. And, you know, they're selling them. Sometimes they're selling them for various reasons. Sometimes they want to get out of a storage that they're in because it's costing them too much. So they need to do something with that stock because they don't want to store it at home. You know, they need to clear that stock and get out of that storage. Or, you know, a lot of the time, a lot of these eBay sellers and Amazon sellers, a lot of them have cash flow problems. So, you know, they need to get cash quick. And they can't get cash quick if they're selling these 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 a day on eBay. You know, if they've got a couple of hundred, and they can turn that back into cash quickly because they need that cash to buy more stock with, or you don't know what reason. A lot of them have cash flow problems, and so that's another reason why they might want to just clear some stock and, you know, clear a job lot of stock because they're desperate for cash. They need some money. So I bought a couple of hundred of these. Not a lot, but easy to buy and sell because they're a popular product. Similar again, a guy had a load of these, and he actually, I mean, this is quite a competitive business now, dash cams, but this was a stock that I bought, and I think there was about 150 of them. which I cleared off this guy. And, you know, he wanted the money. You could tell he needed some money. He needed to get hold of some money quick. So instead of selling these one at a time on eBay, he just cleared them all to me to turn that stock back into cash. And that's what you'll find sometimes with a lot of eBay and Amazon sellers and online shops. You know, they've got stock, and they're just everyone's circumstances are different. And a lot of these people, sometimes they need to get some money quick. And that's one reason why they will sell some stock in bulk very quickly. Okay, so the same again for what I've been talking about on eBay. It's exactly the same scenario for Amazon. So there's a lot of Amazon sellers that obviously have stuff that's listed, and I'm not joking, I am getting offered so much stock inventory, so much job lots, clearance, surplus stock inventory from Amazon sellers. They've got stock coming out of their ears. And, you know, a lot of what they're selling isn't selling quick enough for them. You know, they're bringing in stock, but it becomes slow-moving stock in the end. And they need to get rid of that stock. And, yeah, again, click on the product categories and start searching for sellers, okay? And the way you can find their contact details, some of you might already know. When you get onto a product listing, if you look to the right, there's a column, or underneath the product photo, it says sold and dispatched by, and it gives a name. If you click on there where it says sold and dispatched by, click on there and it brings up the actual seller's company details, which is great. Now, most of the time, it doesn't give you an email address or a phone number, but you can actually Google their business name, and normally you can find their details by Googling them. And another hack is search their name, search their Amazon business name on Facebook, in the search column on Facebook, and you can normally find them on there. And again, contact them and say, I see you selling these types of products on Amazon. Do you have any clearance at the moment you'd like to get rid of in bulk? Do you have any slow-moving stock? Any clearance deal? Any clearance stocks you want to get rid of? So those two places are a great starting point if you don't know where to start when it comes to finding some clearance stock, job lots, within a specific product category. Okay, eBay and Amazon sellers, I'm finding a lot of stock inventory from these people, from these sellers across all different product categories, and it's just vast. There's enough for all of us. So those are great places. Now, obviously, the next place online is just people who have an online shop. So again, search for the product you're looking for, and then it'll bring up various retail shops online that sell that type of product, and contact them and see if they have any stock to clear, see what they've got that they want to sell off. So I'm talking online. Online is now the place to find stock inventory. Gone are the days where you're just ringing companies all day, just random companies. Okay, you can really focus in on the internet. You can focus in to people who are, they are selling a specific type of product. And so that there might be a wholesaler selling a specific type of product online. But, they're advertising their business online. So I'm not just talking retailers. You could look for, wholesalers of specific products. You could look for manufacturers of specific products, but they have a presence online, so you can contact them online. That's what I mean. So everything you're looking for stock inventory online. Okay, you're not driving in your car somewhere and knocking on companies' doors looking for stock. You're not picking up the phone, ringing random companies looking for stock inventory. This is all done now, the modern day method. And how I do this every day in my business is I'm building lists of companies across retailers, wholesalers, importers, manufacturers, whatever, across specific product categories. Excuse me. Does that make sense, guys? So that is please try this, what I've explained, and let me know how you go on. And as I say, if you are offered any stock inventory that's too big for you, okay, then message me and I can help you. So what I'm trying to say is, if you've only been looking for small lots of job lots and stuff that you think you can handle only small lots, I want you to go looking for big lots. Go find big lots if you can of stock inventory. Don't be afraid. Go and look for big lots of stock inventory, and don't worry if you can't handle that quantity of stock, because I can help you get results from those stock inventories. Big quantities. You can still make money from that stock, even though it's too big for you, or you haven't got the money to buy that type of stock, or you might not know any buyers that will buy that a big quantity of stock. You might only know buyers that buy small lots. Okay, so that's another Facebook Live I'm going to get involved in, on how to find buyers, how to find good buyers and the right buyers. Okay, that's something else. So that's going to be it. I'm going to just have a look at some of these comments on here. So Thomas Hatton, you're brand new to this, my friend. Great to meet you. I hope you've picked up some good value in this. And if you are getting started in this business, you want to make sure you stick with this, because I'm going to be doing a lot more Facebook Lives and some good and some web training classes as well, on how to start and grow your own surplus clearance stock business. Actually, how to get started right at the beginning. Okay, I'm going to be doing some web training on that. So, Matty, how you doing, my friend? You have the same problem with people charging too much for stock. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't gone into detail about, this week about how you getting offered stock, but, you might get offered stock, but the prices might be too much. So I'm going to, in another Facebook Live, I'm going to be giving you some good tips on how to buy that stock inventory at the right price. But yeah, I've already mentioned about I buy stock inventory at 10% of the retail price or less. Okay, that is a general rule of thumb when you're buying stock. So yeah, you're going to get that. You're going to get offered stock inventory where the price is too much. And what can you do? They will probably still have the stock in 3 months' time. And, you'll be going back and saying, do you still have that stock? And you'll be offering less. So, as I say, it's a numbers game. A lot of the time, yeah, you get offered stock inventory. It's not always the right price. That's just the nature of this business. They're the two main reasons you can't you can't do a deal on stock is because it's either the wrong price or it's the wrong product. You know, it might be the wrong product as well. You know, it might not even matter whatever price it is, it just might be the wrong product. Yeah, a lot of the time is because it's the wrong price. But I can assure you, there's a lot of sellers that do need to get rid of stock. And, you know, you've got to throw prices at them. Make them offers. Make them an offer. So if they give you a price and, you know, it's too much, the first question you need to ask them is, well, you know, are you negotiable on that price? Or is that it? Is that your best price? So you will find that most people selling stock inventory are negotiable. You will be able to get them down on price. Okay. You just got to keep pushing and pushing. And, you know, if they've still sat on that stock in a few weeks or in a few months, you need to keep pushing them. And in the end, they'll realize that, you know, they need to sell that stock cheaper than the price they want. Otherwise, they're not going to get rid of that stock. Simple as that. They're going to be stuck with that stock inventory. So, yeah. A lot of people have put yes because they want my link for the free ebook on how to make money as a stock finder. It's actually a great thing to do because you can still do it on the side of your existing job. Or if you've actually got your own business, you can do that on the side of your own business as well. So as I say, is about how to get surplus stock. You will have another session about how and where to sell it. Yes, Angeline. Yes. So I'm going to do another session on how and where to sell stock inventory as well. You see, they're all big subjects, so I can't fit everything into one session because we'd be here for weeks, you know. So yes, there's a lot of different places to sell your stock inventory. Okay, I can think of probably about 30 different places, and most of them are online as well. So let me just get the link for this ebook. There you go, guys. There's your link. So there's a link there for it's a free ebook that I've written and put together. And it's yours for free, guys. You can just sign up and then download it. Okay. You'll get it. You'll get the link to download it on an email that you get automatically, and it shows you how to become a stock finder and earn commission or a finder's fee without even having to buy or sell the stock inventory that you find. So all you have to focus on is finding that stock inventory, and you don't have to focus on buying or selling it or paying for it or storing it or holding it or seeing it. None of that. You just have to find it. Okay. And it shows you what the process is. So you're basically, you're a bridge. You're a middleman. You're a bridge or a middleman between the company that's offered you the stock and the buyer. Okay, the buyer that you would show that stock to, like me, for example. So you find some stock inventory and then you bring that to me, and then I would do a deal on that stock. I would go and buy it and sell it myself, and then I would give you a fee, a commission fee. Does that make sense? So you're just finding that stock and then showing me it, okay? And then I pay a fee. Now, I do this with a lot of stock finders around the world. You know, I have people bringing deals to me from all over the world. they say, "I found this stock inventory. Can you do something with it?" And if I buy and sell that stock, I pay them 33% of the profit. Okay, I pay a third of the profit. So, you know, if I do a deal for 3,000 and it makes £3,000 profit, then the stock finder gets £1,000 finder's fee or commission fee. Okay, that's how it works. And you know, it works well because a lot of people, all they want to do is go and find the stock inventory. They don't want the hassle, or they haven't the time. They haven't the time to go and, you know, to get involved in buying and selling it. Okay. So they just bring the deal to me, and I will do the deal on that stock. Hopefully. You know, sometimes I might not do the deal. But, you know, what I aim to do is to do a deal on that stock and then give the cut of the profit to the stock finder. Okay, so this ebook shows you how to become a stock finder. It gives you the basics, the basic details of how to become a stock finder. You can actually get involved more in detail, where I show you where to find stock and where to find the right supply, where to find the right stock, where to look, lots of ways of finding stock inventory. I teach in a course, online course that you can take as well if you want to get more involved. Okay, if you want to do it the proper way, if you want to learn the right way, there's a course. And there's a link in the ebook to the course, and yeah, it's entirely up to you whether you want to do the course or not. I'm not bothered. I will still do deals every day, whether you learn to become a stock finder properly or not. But you will find better quality stock deals if you learn how to become a stock finder properly. Okay, so, but anyway, you read the ebook, and you get a good idea on how to become a stock finder. Guys, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to call it a day, but what I'm going to do is, from the 1st of February, okay, from the 1st of February, which is Friday, okay, from Friday, I'm going to go live every day. From Friday, I'm going to go live every day to give some free value. Okay? So it might be during the day, or it might be on a night. But of course, the videos will be on the timeline. So you will probably see them on your timeline. I'm going to go live every day through February, and I'm going to give some free value every day to do with the clearance, surplus, job lot, liquidation business. And I want you guys, this is my mission. I want to get results for you guys. I want to get results. There'd be nothing more pleasing to me than the advice that I give and the help that I give will help you get results and make money. Okay, whether you're making money part-time, full-time, or whether you're new to this, whether it's on the side of your a day job that you're doing, or whether it's on the side of an existing business that you're running. I want to get you guys results, right? Seriously, I would be so pleased, like I've done with Jacob in Poland, and a few other students as well. I want to get you results. I want you to learn from me, and on the back of that information that you've been taught, I want you to take action and implement the methods that I teach and get results and actually make money. So, I would be so pleased if what I teach you will get you results, and if any little bit helps you, if any little bit that I've taught you will help you make some money in this business, I will be delighted. Okay. Now, I've been in this business for over 28 years, and there's a reason why, and that's because I've taken action every week, and I've made new contacts every week, and I've found new suppliers every week. I've found new buyers every week. I've found lots of different stock every week, and now I get a stream of stock offers sent to my email every day, consistently, like on autopilot. I just have lots and lots of stock offers coming in every day of the year, and I'm processing these stock offers every day. And some of them are no good. Some of them might take a long time. Some of them I can do deals on straight away. So I'm consistently getting stock offers because I'm consistently finding new suppliers and new buyers, and I've built up this massive network across the world of suppliers and buyers and contacts. And I can help you if you have any stock that you can't do anything with, and I think I can do something with it, then I'll help you make money on that deal. Okay, guys, we're going to call it a wrap, and thank you ever so much. I'm so pleased loads of you joined, and you can still comment afterwards, and I'll answer any questions you've got even after this is finished. So thank you ever so much for watching this live. And as I say, from Friday, I'm going to do lives every day. I'm going to bring you value every single day. I'm going to show you deals that I've done. I'm going to show you what I paid for that product and what I sold it for. And, how I found a buyer for that stock. And, go into detail on how I did the deal. So, yeah, we're going to get more focused on actual deals that I've done and how I evaluated that deal and, turned it from being offered that stock to turning that into a deal and buying it and selling it straight on. Okay. So we were going to call it a day now. It's 10:30. I'm still in my office and I need to go home and get some dinner. So I will catch you guys very soon. Wish you all the best. I will catch you very, very soon. Over and out.